Hello all, this is Dr. Dave Maslach talking to you about reciprocity.com. The E is written with a 3, and in this particular video I want to talk to you about how do you actually write policy implications for PhD research or practical implications for your papers that you're writing. So if you don't know me, I'm a professor of innovation strategy and entrepreneurship and created this whole reciprocity project to give back as much as I possibly can. There are so many people that helped me out to get through graduate school that I decided to pay the favor forward and help you out. So how do you actually write policy implications and practical implications? So first of all, there are differences between policy and practical implications, and I'm going to get into them in this particular video. So practical implications, generally what we're talking about with practical implications, they're geared towards the practicing manager, or maybe it is somebody in a particular organization that is looking to implement some particular thing, right? So it's got to be something that is pretty easy to recommend. Usually it's 2 to 3 recommendations. Maybe it's a paragraph, 2 paragraphs on different things that practitioners, so managers, or maybe it is individuals, maybe it's dietitians, maybe it is somebody that's on the grounds, physicians, for example, that's on the grounds, and they can actually implement the thing that you've actually studied, or the results that you've actually studied or found out, right? So it's something that's interesting that you found out. And generally, if the paper is done well and it's written well, the practical implications will be fairly easy and obvious because you've worked with this thing for several months to, in my case, in my field, is several years that you've been working on this thing. So generally, you come to realize that there are practical implications on the thing that you're working on. And if you can't find practical implications on what you're trying to work on, they're not obvious, it's some sort of abstract thing, then is not necessarily clear, maybe it's a mathematical model or something like that, well, go and pick up some trade journals. Actually go into what are trade journals. You actually go and read what the practitioners are reading. So it might be, so for example, in management, which is my field, it might be picking up HBR, so Harvard Business Review, and reading what they have to do. I also will pick up Journal JAMA, so Journal of American Medical Association, and read some of the stuff that they have and go through some of that stuff because it's practitioner oriented. So, or health policy in the case. Sometimes I'll read some of that stuff and it's more practitioner oriented. It just means it's kind of like boots on the ground kind of stuff that regular everyday people are working through. Maybe it's physicians or doctors or somebody like that. Or managers that they're working on these kind of things as day-to-day issues that they have. And so you're looking for those day-to-day issues that they have, and maybe the thing that you're actually writing on has some implications. And it's usually 2 or 3 things that you want to work on. Now, it is different, so it is largely different from research applications and implications. And the reason is that these policy and practical implications are different is because they are much more sort of short-term and focused on getting something done, right? So it is in the meantime, or in the immediate time, that somebody is going to pick this thing up and actually implement some of the stuff that you're working on. Whereas research implications tend to be a lot more broader, and you're thinking about how does this relate to other papers and other research articles that are in the current literature. And they're going to be very generalizable. So the research implications are much more generalizable than the things that you're actually working on. So you'll have implications, and then you also have sort of recommendations, which might be a little bit different as well. So implications are, how does this actually fit with what we currently know within the current research? And then recommendations are like, what can you actually do with this thing, right? So they're going to be different, and you can actually weave them both into the, whether you're focusing on practical recommendations or implications, or the research implications. And it's, just depends on what you're doing. And generally what you want to do is you'll have your research implications first, and you'll go through those things. And then at the tail end of an article, you'll have the practical implications that you're going to write on or write about. Do you have to write policy implications for PhD research? Those are going to be different, right? So practical implications are going to be, they're related, but they're not necessarily the same thing. So policy implications are related to, the governance of a set of individuals or set of firms or set of companies, and looking at the oversight of those governance of those individuals and companies. And what you're looking for in that case with policy implications, you want to sort of help out the health or the population of a number of different firms. So sometimes, or a number of different individuals as a group, rather than maybe it is a single individual or a single, manager, for example, that is doing something within the firm or within one particular firm. And what you're looking at, sometimes there's going to be with policy implications, sometimes there's trade-offs, right? So sometimes the policy implications are going to be such that it's going to help the population as a whole sort of do better. But it might hurt certain firms and certain, maybe it's certain individuals by implementing that particular thing. But the population as a whole is going to be better off. So they're different. You have to think about it, the larger implications of what you're trying to do. And they're not going to be sort of so specific on what you're actually trying to do. And it might be thinking about a policy implication for a certain, maybe it's a regulation that somebody is introducing at this current time, or some sort of rule, or maybe it's some sort of law that somebody is actually trying to implement. And you can sort of say one way or the other what you think about this particular law that you're doing, or that the people are implementing based on what you've already done and the research that you've shown. So what you're looking for with both policy and practical implications, if you haven't noticed, compared to research implications, it should be relatively easy to implement, right? So you have to think about both the bureaucrats, for example, and politicians, and as well as managers are really, really busy on a day-to-day basis. They're not going to have time to read through everything that you've written and go through all the different details. So it's got to be really quick and very focused on what you're actually trying to do and the implications that you're trying to do. So they should be easy, very, very easy to implement, right? So it shouldn't be something that's complicated. You have to sort of do all these different procedures, but it should be just like, okay, if you do this one thing, it's going to make a big difference. Should have relatively quick results, right? So if the recommendations that you have results that are, say, 5-10 years out in the future, nobody's going to ever implement them. Managers want to actually get some results very quickly so that they can make a difference in their business, or maybe it's in the hospital or whatnot. You should also look at how easy it is to observe the thing that you're trying to do, right? So if it's not easily observable, so if you're looking at maybe it's practical implications of love and it's not easily observable, it's going to be really, really difficult to actually teach people or tell people how to actually do this particular thing. But so for example, maybe you're looking at weight loss, for example. Well, if the implication is that maybe you should be doing fasting for 15 hours a day and trying to do that, well, then the results should be easily observable, right? So you should be able to see weight loss within a couple of days, and then people are actually going to take this seriously and run with it. And the last thing is it should be easy to remember, right? So your implications, your policy and practical implications should be extremely easy to remember, such that when the manager is overwhelmed or the policymaker is overwhelmed with all the things that's going on around them, they'll think about that one thing that you actually wrote and do that one particular thing. So maybe it's thinking about, maybe it's opt-in versus opt-out kind of strategy with what you're trying to implement. It's easy to remember what opt-in is. It's forcing people to actually check mark something. Versus opt-out, it's already checked and you have to uncheck that thing. And that's really easy to remember, those kind of things. Now, should you always write practical implications in your journal article? No, actually, and this is where I would disagree with a lot of people that sort of think about practical and policy implications. So I actually did a really quick and dirty study. I asked, it's not really a study, but I asked the people that are on my channel, I did a little poll, and I asked them whether we should have practical implications in your research articles. And virtually almost all of them did that. They said that we should have practical implications. I think it was around like 80%. People said that we should have practical implications, or the stuff that you're researching should have practical implications. But then when I asked them, how many people know whether managers actually read the material that they've written And it was like two people that said that they know managers that have actually written the stuff that they've done. And it's just really uncommon for managers to pick up research articles. And so often it's not, you shouldn't be thinking about that particular audience when you're writing articles. And I'll get into another reason that's a little bit that's a little bit more interesting, I think. So you shouldn't be thinking about that particular audience. You should be thinking about writing to researchers and other people around you, because those researchers are actually going to take that knowledge and maybe teach somebody in the future about what they've learned, and then that will get passed on that way. So that's one mechanism in terms of how this knowledge gets passed through, instead of thinking about just the nitty-gritty practical implications. But the other thing, you have to think about your role as a researcher or as an academic or as a scholar. It might not necessarily be that you should be making changes, right? So if your role as a researcher, as a policy, as somebody that's studying this kind of stuff, if your goal is to make some sort of change, then yeah, you should have policy and practical implications. But rather, if your goal, and you have to think about this differently, is to stretch people's minds and have them think differently about something, then you don't have to think about the practical implications, but rather what you're trying to do is get people to think about things in different ways, and then they themselves will be able to think about this particular situation in the future when they encounter that situation, what they should do. And they might be able to generalize a little bit better if you think about, if you get them to think more broadly in more unique ways than if they are just thinking about this one particular thing. If I just implement this one particular thing, I'm going to be able to do this. But rather, if you're thinking about it as I'm going to teach them how to think broadly or have some novel and different insight about the world, then maybe when they encounter something that is maybe not quite the same thing, but is similar, they'll be able to run with it and actually come up with an implication themselves and what they should do with that scenario. And that's what I think about when I actually write papers. Is I'm thinking about, I want to sort of get people to think about something in a different way. And then it's not my job to get them to actually do a practical implication or do one particular thing, for managers to do this particular thing, but it's my job to get them to think about something differently, such that they themselves will go out and actually encounter and come up with a better implication for what they're trying to do, because they thought differently. They think about the world completely different. They have a mind flip when they read the stuff that I'm trying to write about. And that's really what I'm trying to think about when I'm writing my own papers. And that's why I started out thinking about practical implications, but I've learned not to think about practical implications as much as I do when I'm working on the papers that I'm working on. And I'm trying to think about, well, what's the novel insight? What is different? What is unique? What is interesting with the thing that I'm trying to do? And how is this going to change the way that we currently understand the world? All right, so if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Do subscribe to the YouTube channel. I do appreciate it. Take care and have a wonderful day. Bye.